Welcome back to the GSMC MMA Podcast. In the first segment, we were talking about UFC 303. In the second segment, we just talked about Chael Sonnen and Anderson Silva's upcoming boxing match on Saturday in Sao Paulo. And now, as we move into segment 3, we're moving a little backwards. We were talking about UFC 303. Now we are talking about UFC 302 and some comments that Dustin Poirier made after that. UFC 302 delivered on its promise of a highly anticipated main event between Islam Makhachev. You know what? I looked it up. I pronounced it a bunch of times. And Dustin Poirier showcasing the relentless battle for the lightweight title. Islam emerged victorious in the fifth round via Darcy choke, highlighting his dominance in grappling exchanges despite Poirier's resilience in striking exchanges on the feet. Throughout the fight, Poirier demonstrated superb defensive skills in avoiding takedowns and engaging effectively in boxing, exploiting movements where he could capitalize on Islam's vulnerabilities. However, the physical toll was evident as both fighters sustained significant injuries, with Poirier revealing post-fight that he battled through damaged ribs, a broken nose, and a partially torn ACL. In a poignant moment on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, Poirier expressed his acceptance of the fight's outcome and hinted at potential retirement plans had he won the lightweight title. Reflecting on his journey and the impact of UFC 302, Poirier contemplated retiring as champion, but acknowledged that the fight unfolded as destined for his story. Despite falling short in his quest for the lightweight title, Poirier's legacy in MMA remains formidable. With a record of 30-9 in the UFC, including notable wins and memorable battles, Poirier holds a special place in the fans' hearts and is widely regarded as one of the best fighters never to capture an undisputed title. His journey, marked by highs and lows, culminated in significant moments such as his interim lightweight championship over Max Holloway at UFC 236. As Poirier weighs his future in the sport, the MMA community awaits his decision with anticipation, recognizing his potential induction into the UFC Hall of Fame and his lasting impact on the sport. So if he'd won, he said he would retire. No word on what he plans on doing next, but what are your thoughts?
Okay, first off, let's talk about that fight. And that was a little while ago. Not that long ago, but looking at this fight, the thing that made me so surprised was I figured Islam would be just like Khabib. I mean, he's a beast on the ground. But against a guy like Dustin Poirier, I thought Dustin would have the superior would be the superior striker, and that wasn't the case. The thing with Islam is, like Khabib was just unworldly. His ground game is unworldly, but his game is, if you want to stand with him, he can punish you standing. He's an elite striker. He's a beyond elite grappler. I thought Dustin did everything possible. You could tell he was on a mission to try to win this fight. And just Islam is the, unmovable object. You can't stop him. Whether it was on the ground, standing, he was superior. He was a superior striker. He was a superior grappler. Everything that Dustin could do was bested by Islam. And so that's the thing that was just absolutely surprising to me. Now, Dustin, if Dustin would have won, he hints at that he would have left the belt and his gloves in the ring and he would have retired. This is what I want to talk about. If he would have done that, that would have been the greatest retirement of all time. I was really hoping that George St. Pierre would have done this, or even going forward, I would like to see John Jones in his next fight do this. Because John Jones he's at the end of his career and as he's been talking about. But no fighter has actually just walked in there, won the belt, and then just took the gloves off and everything and just dropped them there and just thanked everyone and made the fight his retirement party. George St. Pierre, he kind of did that. He won the championship, but he took some time to think about things and entertain other offers before finally relinquishing the titles. I would like, if he would have done that, that would have been so amazing. And then you look at Dustin Poirier, he's fought everyone. He's ducked no one. He's had an incredible career. He's incredibly popular after his 2 wins over against Conor McGregor. He's done it all. Even now, after this loss, I don't want to see him retire quite yet. I feel like there's one more fight left in him. I want to see Dustin Poirier versus Gaethje for the 3rd fight. Poirier won the first one by knockout, strikes. Gaethje, a surprise head kick, knocked out Dustin Poirier. These 2 guys, I don't think you can end it. It's kind of like Chael Sonnen ending and Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva ended his career with Chael Sonnen. I feel like a Justin Gaethje Dustin Poirier fight would be the ultimate way to end things. I would love to see that. Or, I know, just talking here, but or Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier as their last fight. And here's the reason why. I know Dustin's won the last 2, but the last one was strictly because Conor broke his leg. And so you could actually run this back if you could get Conor in the ring. Let's say the Chandler Conor fight falls apart. Imagine this fight: Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor, unfinished business. That's the title. Dustin Poirier announces this is his last fight. You probably could say this would be Conor's last fight. That would be one blockbuster retirement bout, or Gaethje versus Poirier. But those are the 2 fights. I think. Not yet for Poirier. I think that one more fight is left in him, and I think if you brought either one of those to Dustin Poirier and said, "We want to do one last fight. I know you're thinking about retiring. What do you think about a retirement fight where you're matched up with Conor McGregor, or what do you think about a retirement fight where you're matched up with Justin Gaethje for to settle this?" Either way it go, you could promote both of these as unfinished business. Gaethje and him 1-1, McGregor 2. McGregor 1, Poirier 2, but the last one was a broken leg. That one doesn't count. It's unfinished business. Both of these would do great business. What do you think?
Well, I like the Justin Gaethje option because it is 1-1, and yeah, you can take into account the broken leg, but it is 1-1 officially. And I do worry that Conor McGregor's, I don't want to say he's not reliable because that maybe isn't fair, but he
it'd be hard to put that one together.
Encountering some obstacles as
there's a lot of hurdles to get that done. But I could easily see, especially if Poirier says, "Hey, this is my last fight," and it gets billed as Dustin Poirier's last fight as he's retiring and it's unfinished business, you could market that, and it would sell. It would sell massively. I know it's kind of counteracting what I was saying about Conor not being, and I think that's a great word. It's. I don't want to call him not reliable.
Right.
it is just very challenging to get a fight scheduled with Conor McGregor nowadays.
And I do like that concept of if they both were to retire after that fight. I think
that'd be
very compelling.
If you did a Conor Conor Dustin Poirier unfinished business retirement match. Do you understand the level of pay-per-view dollars you would get for this one? It would be massive. It would be massive. And you know what? I could see Conor biting on that one too. That would be my dream way to see Poirier go out, either with Gaethje or Conor.
And then you could have a post-fight retirement party with cake.
Whatever.
I'm just hungry and I'd like some cake.
So, or if the Chandler fight doesn't go, maybe a Chandler fight? I don't know about that.
It's so tricky. I mean, I know we already covered this in another segment, but June 29th is every day we're getting closer to it. So
I don't think it's happening. I just don't see how it happens.
Finding a replacement, it's so, that's always challenging to try to bring someone in with that short of notice.
And then, that event, Chandler's been waiting for this fight. How long does Chandler wait for this fight? I know we're going back to segment 1, but let's say you do have a quick sub in. Let's say you have someone, let's say, I don't know, Max Holloway comes in. Great fight. But let's say Max win. Mm-hmm. That Chandler fight is over with Conor and him if he loses.
Yeah.
That's why it's a dangerous situation.
It's a very sticky situation. I agree.
Yes, it is.
Any final thoughts on Dustin Poirier, since that is the topic of this segment?
An amazing fighter. I think he still has more left in him. I'd say he has 1 to 2 more fights in him. I see why he's starting to think about retiring. He's lost a couple of fights, important fights. He's kind of that guy that's in it for titles, and that's what he wants, is a title. I was shocked that he has never been the champ. He's only been interim champ, because I think of him as a champ. And as long as you carry the belt, he was champ in my eyes. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that he has at least 1 more left in him, though.
We'll see. All right. Thank you for tuning into the GSMC MMA Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support really does mean a lot to us, so make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the show. Also, you can follow the podcast on social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok for more content and updates. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Mm-hmm. 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 Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to